Why do some older adults feel calm in their space, while others feel buried in clutter? Have you ever walked into the home of someone in their 70s or 80s and instantly felt a sense of peace? Not because it was spotless, but because it felt lived in, loved, and quietly cared for. And maybe you've wondered, how do they do it? Why does their home feel so light, while mine feels like it's always a bit behind? The truth might surprise you. Clean, peaceful homes rarely come from deep cleaning sprees or professional help. They're built on small, thoughtful habits repeated daily without strain. As we age, cleaning can feel more draining. But many older adults who maintain tidy, calm spaces aren't working harder. They're simply working smarter. Their homes stay light because their approach is light, rooted in rhythm, not pressure. In this video, we'll gently explore 7 daily habits that quietly keep things in order. These aren't chores, they're calming rituals, simple shifts in mindset. So if lately you felt overwhelmed by clutter or wondered where your old energy went, stay with us. Because it's not your age that's changed, it's time for a new approach. Let's begin. Habit 1. A simple morning reset. A simple start that sets the tone for the entire day. Among older adults who maintain calm, tidy homes, one quiet pattern often stands out: the way they begin their mornings. It's not a to-do list. It's not about cleaning the entire house. It's about a single gentle gesture that signals, the day has begun, and I'm here for it. For some, it's smoothing the bed covers before leaving the room. For others, it might be wiping the bathroom sink after brushing their teeth, or opening the curtains to let in the morning light. These small rituals aren't about perfection, they're about presence. This first act of order, no matter how small, creates a ripple effect. When we take just a minute to reset part of our space, something shifts inside. There's a subtle lift in the shoulders, a bit more air in the lungs, a quiet sense of, I've already begun. Take Frank, for example, a 70-year-old widower who lives alone in a cozy 2-bedroom apartment. Every morning, without fail, he folds his pajamas and places them in a drawer. Then, with slow, steady hands, he straightens the bed. That simple act is not just about tidiness. It's about dignity. It's his way of saying, this space matters. And so do I. When we treat our space with care, we remind ourselves that we are worthy of care too. This tiny morning ritual often leads to other natural motions. A few minutes of putting things away, a gentle sweep of the kitchen floor, maybe even watering a plant. None of it feels forced. It flows like a soft rhythm in the background of the day. And perhaps the greatest gift of this habit is that it soothes the mind. When we wake to a room where yesterday's clutter is still waiting, it hums in the background like a low, anxious tune. But when we see one corner, one countertop, or even just the bed looking cared for, something in us exhales. There's no need for shame. No need for urgency. Just calm. Just clarity. Just a fresh start. Because the goal is not a perfect home. The goal is to begin the day with intention. And from that small, sacred place, everything else becomes lighter. Habit 2. A gentle daily cleaning rhythm. A little each day keeps the overwhelm away. Another quiet yet powerful habit among older adults who keep calm, welcoming homes isn't about scrubbing floors for hours or turning weekends into cleaning marathons. It's much simpler and much kinder. They don't clean harder. They clean regularly. And always in a way that honors their energy, not drains it. The secret? They don't wait for things to get bad. They stay gently ahead of the mess, one small task at a time. Let me introduce you to Helen. She's 75, lives on her own, and her home always smells like fresh linen and a hint of lemon balm. It's warm, tidy, and softly inviting. When someone once asked her, "How do you keep it so neat?" she smiled and said, "Oh, I clean one room a day. That's all. Mondays are for the bathroom. Tuesdays she dusts the living room. Wednesdays she tends to her bedroom, fresh sheets, open windows, maybe a little vacuuming. 10, maybe 20 minutes a day. That's it. No pressure. No fatigue. Just a steady rhythm." By the end of the week, every part of her home has been touched. Not in a rushed or perfectionist way, but with gentle care. And what she gains in return is not just cleanliness, it's peace of mind. Because when your home is cared for a little bit each day, there's no need to dread it. No more wondering, when will I ever get around to that mess? The answer is already baked into the flow of your week. And if something unexpected happens, a spill, a bit of clutter, it's easier to handle. Because your space already has a foundation of calm. That's the quiet magic of rhythm. You see, routines are like invisible support beams. They hold your days together quietly without fanfare. And when cleaning becomes part of that rhythm, just like brushing your teeth or feeding the cat, it stops feeling like a chore. It simply becomes part of life. And perhaps the most beautiful part? You don't have to get it right every day. If you skip a day, you're not buried. You're just one gentle step behind. Because a clean, nurturing home isn't about doing everything all the time. It's about doing the right thing at the right moment in a way that matches you, your life, your pace, your energy. You're not running a hotel. You're living your life. And your home should support you, not exhaust you. So if you've been putting off that cluttered shelf or dusty corner that feels too much, take a page from Helen's book. Break it into days. Let it be light. Let it be part of the week, not the whole day. This is how homes stay beautiful well into our 70s, 80s, and beyond, not through force but through flow. If this part of the video resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment with #2 if this daily habit is something you'd like to try, or perhaps something you've already been doing in your own way. Your stories and reflections help others feel less alone on their journey. And if you haven't yet, I warmly invite you to subscribe and tap the bell icon. That way you won't miss any of the upcoming habits we'll be exploring together. Your presence here means more than you know. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content for hearts just like yours. Now, when you're ready, let's gently move on to habit #3. Habit 3. When every item belongs. When things have a home, your home brings you peace. One of the most quietly powerful habits shared by older adults who maintain tidy, welcoming homes is this. Everything they own has a place to belong. This doesn't mean they live in bare, minimalist spaces. Quite the opposite. Their homes are often cozy, filled with meaningful objects. Books with worn spines, framed photos of family, the gentle hum of a well-loved kettle. They don't chase perfection. They cultivate order. Let me tell you about Carol. She's 72, lives in a simple townhouse, and welcomes guests into a home that feels both warm and well cared for. Her knitting basket rests beside her favorite chair. The television remote always sits in the same tray near the lamp. Her keys? Always on the hook by the door without fail. You won't find Carol frantically opening drawers to find her glasses or digging through piles of mail to locate a bill. What? Because she's made one powerful decision. Everything has a place, and everything goes back to that place. It may sound simple, but this one habit changes everything. Because when things don't have a home, clutter sneaks in quietly. Mail lands on the kitchen table. Glasses wander from room to room. Socks gather like uninvited guests on chairs and stair rails. And slowly, a sense of chaos begins to grow. But when every item, no matter how small, has a place to return to, your space begins to take care of itself. You don't have to constantly clean because things aren't constantly out of place. You move through your day with ease instead of effort. There's also something deeply soothing about this kind of predictability. Knowing where things are anchors you. It settles the nervous system. It frees your mind from tiny, unnecessary decisions. You're no longer pausing to think, now where did I put that? Instead, your energy can go to more meaningful things. Reading a letter, making a cup of tea, calling a friend. Many older adults who live this way will tell you, they didn't always. There was a time when they, too, were tired of searching for things, tired of being surprised by clutter that seemed to drift through the house. So they made a quiet choice. If something is in their home, it earns its place. And if it doesn't have a home, it gets one, or it goes. This doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean every surface is always pristine. But it does mean that order is always possible because every object knows where it belongs. That's the difference between a tidy home and a chaotic one. Not the absence of mess, but the presence of a system. A gentle, personal system that makes resetting the space feel effortless and even comforting. So if you find yourself surrounded by things that migrate from room to room, try asking one simple question. Where should this live? That one question, repeated with kindness, can return hours of peace to your day. It's not about reorganizing everything overnight. It's about gradually giving your belongings a sense of belonging. And when everything has a place to return to, so do you. Habit 4. Everyday care, not cleaning. A small act of care that keeps your home and heart in balance. There's a subtle yet powerful habit that sets tidy, peaceful homes apart from those that constantly feel like they're on the edge of chaos. It's not about deep scrubbing or full-on cleaning sessions. It's simply this: a gentle daily reset. Just a few minutes each day. No mop. No heavy lifting. Just enough to restore balance before things spiral into clutter. Take Gloria for instance. She's 74 and has lived in the same cozy home for over 4 decades. She doesn't spend hours each day cleaning. But every morning, right after her cup of tea, she takes a quiet loop around her space. She wipes down the kitchen counters. Folds the throw blanket on the sofa. Straightens the shoes by the door. The whole thing? Under 15 minutes. And yet, it changes the entire energy of her home. Because nothing ever gets too far out of place. No one mess grows big enough to demand hours of correction. This daily practice isn't about perfection. It's about presence. People who maintain tidy homes understand this well. You don't wait for clutter to become a problem. You meet it gently while it's still small. So while others are dreading their monthly deep clean, these folks have already made 3 or 4 light passes through their home, without breaking a sweat. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't skip it for 5 days and then try to fix everything at once. You tend to do it daily. Not because it's urgent, but because it's caring. This small, consistent effort builds momentum. Wipe the bathroom sink? That takes 20 seconds. But it somehow makes the entire bathroom feel fresher. That feeling nudges you to hang the towel neatly. Put the brush away. Maybe even wipe down the mirror. Each action fuels the next, gently, naturally. And here's something else. There's a psychological gift in all this. When you do a little each day, your home always feels ready. Ready for guests. Ready for rest. Ready for you. You walk in and exhale. Instead of sighing at the to-do list. You don't need to dread surprise visitors. You don't need to apologize for your space. Because your space is working with you, not against you. Some older adults I've spoken with say it gives them a sense of quiet control. Others say it's simply how they stay connected, to their home and to themselves. And that's the deeper truth here. A light daily tidy-up isn't about the dust or the cushions. It's about attention. Small, loving attention that says, this place matters. And so do I. If your home feels like it falls into disorder too quickly, this one habit can change everything. You don't need to do it all. You just need to do a little, regularly. Because homes don't clean themselves. But they also don't demand hours of labor. They simply ask for care. Quiet, steady, compassionate care. And over time, that care builds into a space that supports you, reflects you, and gently says, you are safe here. If this idea of gentle daily care speaks to you, take a moment today to choose just one small act. Wipe a surface, fold a throw, tidy a corner. Then come back here and share it with us in the comments. What's your daily tidy-up ritual? Comment number 4 below if this habit resonates with you. And let us know how you're making your space feel lighter and more loved. One quiet moment at a time. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon. We're building a space here just like your home. Calm, welcoming, and always here when you need it. Habit 5. When home becomes a reflection of the heart. Because home is not just a place, it's a part of who we are. If there's one habit that truly sets apart older adults who maintain clean, peaceful homes, it goes far beyond checklists or chore charts. It lives in something much deeper. They feel emotionally connected to their space. Their home isn't just a roof or a set of walls. It's not a storage unit or a place to pass time. It's a living reflection of their journey, of love, of memories, of presence. Take George for example. He's 80 now and he's been living alone since his beloved wife passed away several years ago. And yet, their home still holds the quiet beauty of a shared life. Photographs of their travels. Furniture they picked out together. The way the morning sun stretches across the dining room table. Just the way she loved it. George doesn't tidy because he has to. He cleans because it's his way of saying, thank you. I remember. I honor this. He doesn't see it as dusting. He sees it as stewardship. An act of gentle care for the space that once held their laughter, their dinners, their quiet afternoons. This emotional connection changes everything. When you feel that your home matters, You treat it with tenderness. You wipe the counters not to meet a standard, but because it brings a sense of continuity. You open the windows to let in fresh air, not just for ventilation, but to let life flow back in. It becomes less about tasks, and more about relationship. Because the more connected you are to your space, the more naturally you notice the little things. A dusty shelf, a cup left behind, a bulb that's gone dim. And rather than feeling annoyed, you feel drawn to care. And that care done with heart, not duty, gives you something back. You feel more grounded, more supported, more at home, in both body and spirit. And no, you don't need a perfect house or a curated museum of memories to feel this connection. Sometimes it's as simple as a worn armchair where you drink your morning coffee. A wooden table that has seen countless meals and conversations. A sunny corner where your favorite plant grows. When you love these little parts of your home, you naturally tend to them. Because they represent you. This emotional bond also makes it easier to let go. People with clean, calming homes aren't holding on to clutter just because they might need it someday. They keep what matters. They let go of what no longer serves. Not from a place of minimalism, but from respect. If something doesn't bring comfort or purpose, it's gently thanked and released. And what remains is space, space that breathes, space that soothes. Because when you treat your home like a trusted companion, with care, consistency, and gratitude, it begins to respond in kind. It becomes a place that gives back. A place that holds you quietly in the rhythm of your days. A place that reflects your inner peace. And that's the heart of it. You're not just caring for a house. You're tending to the space that has quietly, lovingly cared for you. That's not a chore. That's connection. And the older we get, the more we come to understand. Our environment is more than where we live. It's part of who we are becoming. Habit 6. Letting go with grace. Making space for peace by releasing what no longer serves. One of the most quietly transformative habits among older adults who live in clean, peaceful homes isn't about how they clean. It's about what they choose to keep. With time and experience, they've come to understand a simple truth. Not everything is meant to stay forever. A house filled with unused items, broken things, or objects that once had meaning but no longer do, it doesn't just take up space. It slowly drains energy. It fills corners not just with stuff but with weight. And so, these wise individuals have developed a graceful practice. They let go. Not from coldness. Not from haste. But from clarity. They've learned to ask one powerful, honest question. Is this still serving me? If the answer is no, they release the item, gently and with gratitude. No guilt. No drama. Just a soft, intentional goodbye. Take Margaret, for example. At 81, she has lived in the same home for over 4 decades. During that time, she gathered years of gifts, souvenirs, family furniture, and mementos from raising her children. But when she retired, she made a conscious choice. Instead of letting her past quietly pile up, she decided to honor her present. She sorted through her belongings with care. She kept only what brought peace. She donated, gifted, or sold the rest without regret. And her home? It didn't become empty. It became lighter, more present, more alive. Because letting go isn't about loss. It's about making room. Room for clarity. Room for calm. Room for the you that exists now, not just the person you used to be. And this habit reaches beyond closets and drawers. It's a form of emotional housekeeping. It clears the mind just as much as it clears the room. When you enter a home like Margaret's, you can feel it. There's space to breathe, to think, to simply be. You're not walking into the past. You're stepping into a life that's still unfolding, with openness and intention. And here's something powerful. This habit also restores a sense of control. In a season of life where many things feel like they're changing, the decision of what stays and what goes becomes a quiet act of empowerment. It reminds you, you still have a say. You are not trapped by objects or old chapters. You get to shape your environment to support who you are becoming. And there's one more layer to this that touches the heart deeply. Your loved ones. By gently releasing what you no longer need, you ease the future for those who will one day step into your space. It's a quiet act of love. A way of saying, I've taken care of this for you. Because letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean the memories disappear. It simply means you are choosing presence over pressure. peace over accumulation, and freedom over holding on to things that no longer fit the life you want to live. And so, as we close this reflection on the 6 habits that help older adults maintain clean, calm homes, remember this. You don't need to do it all at once. Just start gentle, with care, with presence, because your home is not a project. It's a partner. And with small, loving choices, it can become one of your greatest sources of comfort, clarity, and peace. If one of these habits spoke to you, start there, just one small step today. Comment your favorite habit below number 1 through number 6 and let us know you're here. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more gentle inspiration. Your home and your heart deserve peace. Always. Habit 7. They invite stillness into their space. Because a truly peaceful home is not just clean, it's quiet in the soul. Beyond all the gentle tidying, thoughtful routines, and emotional connections to their belongings, there's one more habit that wise, grounded older adults often cultivate. Though it may not be visible to the eye, it shapes the very spirit of their home. They create space not just for things but for stillness. Not silence, though that can be part of it, but a deeper kind of quiet. Pause. A breath. A sacred corner of their day that's free from distraction, noise, or the need to be productive. This stillness may take many forms. For one person, it's sitting by the window each morning watching the light shift across the floor. For another, it's a short prayer, a moment of gratitude before bed, or sipping tea in the same chair at the same time each afternoon. No phone, no agenda, just being. Homes that feel truly peaceful aren't just well organized. They carry a frequency of calm. Because the people who live in them have made space for inner order, not just outer order. And the beautiful truth is, stillness doesn't just soothe the mind. It protects the home. When we allow ourselves a few minutes each day to be present, to notice how we feel in our space, how it holds us, we naturally become more attuned to its needs. We catch the subtle tension before it builds. We sense when something is out of place, not just physically but energetically. We begin to treat our environment not as a checklist, but as a living companion. This habit of stillness is also an antidote to loneliness. Because when we are truly present in our home, we don't need to fill every silence. We don't need to chase after noise to feel alive. We learn to dwell in our own company, with gentleness and curiosity. And perhaps most importantly, this stillness invites clarity. In the quiet, we hear what matters. We remember what to release. We recognize what truly brings us peace, not just in the house but in the heart. So if you've ever felt like your home is clean but still not quite peaceful, ask yourself this: have I made space for stillness? Even 5 minutes a day can transform a room from a shell into a sanctuary. Because the deepest order we can bring into our lives isn't just about where we put our belongings, it's about where we put our attention. A peaceful home begins within. And when we tend to that inner stillness, our outer world begins to reflect it, quietly, lovingly, and beautifully. Final thoughts: a home that reflects your peace. Now that we've walked gently through these 7 everyday habits, take a quiet moment to reflect on your own space. Is your home a place that restores you? Does it offer peace, clarity, and warmth when you need it most? Or has it, perhaps slowly, become a space where things pile up, where decisions are delayed and energy feels scattered? So take heart. Because the habits we've explored together are not extreme. They don't require perfection, big budgets, or endless time. They're simple, soulful choices, small daily acts made with intention. People who live in clean, calming homes aren't just tidying. They're living with presence. They're choosing to honor their environment in small ways. Wiping the sink after brushing their teeth. Returning items to their rightful place without delay. Letting go of things that no longer serve their life now. And most beautifully, they make space for stillness. Each habit, practiced with love, begins to shape the energy of the home. Not in one day but over time. And what happens as a result? Your space begins to support you. Not the other way around. You feel less overwhelmed. More grounded. Freer to focus on what truly matters. Relationships, moments of joy, rest, and reflection. Because when your outer world is in harmony, your inner world can breathe more freely too. So here's a gentle invitation. Ask yourself, which of these habits could I begin with today? Not all at once. Just one. Let it settle. Let it become part of your rhythm like a quiet heartbeat in your day. Then when you're ready, add another. And before long something shifts. Your home will begin to reflect not just cleanliness, but calm. Not just order, but care. Not just what you own, but who you are becoming. Thank you for spending this time with us today. We'd love to hear from you. What spoke to your heart the most? What small habit are you ready to embrace? Leave a comment below. Your reflections are not only welcomed but cherished. They help us grow this community of warmth, wisdom, and encouragement. If you found comfort or inspiration in today's message, please consider liking, subscribing, or sharing it with someone who might need it. Your support allows us to continue creating meaningful content for those who believe that even the smallest shift can bring great peace. Until next time, take care of your space and let it take care of you.